Pat Tucci from Haunted Youngstown episode. Here we are in Campbell at a house that has had a lot of history. I have the owner here, Tim, and I have another spiritualist, my sister-in-law, Sherry Bartov, and of course I'm Pat Tucci, Power of Second Sight. And we're going to explore this house. I've never been in this house. From what Tim tells me, there's been a lot of activity going on in this house. And can you give me that short history lesson?
Well, in a nutshell, since the time we moved in, about Dylan would be just born in 05? No, 03. We moved from Kendall up to here. And usually, the day we walked in and started ripping up carpet and doing some work, we noticed pennies in each door or window or any entrance that leads from the outside. And we removed them, started painting everything and did everything this. One thing led to another. About a week later, that's when the domino effect started. That's where we started hearing the thumps in the corner living room. That's where we started hearing the footsteps, and the kids started noticing it. And eventually, one thing led to another. We're paying a mortgage, so you had to live with it.
All right, let me ask you a couple of questions right away. Have you lived here too? This is a rental now, correct?
Now it's rental, yes.
Okay, but you did live here, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us about how long ago did you live here and how long did you live here?
We lived here up until my son turned about 14. And he went right around the time he was born, so yeah, about 14 years, give or take. And from here we
14
moved.
years?
About that. No, I take it back. 12, we lived 2 years down in Kendall Apartments before we found this.
Okay,
before it was open.
Well,
we moved out of here, went down there, helped my mother-in-law out, and then put this house up.
From the outside, it looks very pretty. Let's go inside.
All right, then we walk into the living room. You see me looking around there, shaking my hands around. The feelings to me were just real heavy. The air was real heavy. The air was thick as peanut butter. There was these terrible smells all over the place. And I decided that this track had to be muted because the echo was outrageously crazy. And then he showed me the dining room where there was a lot of activity taking place. In fact, the camera woman, which was my wife Debbie, kept getting knocked in the shoulder so that the camera would not come out right. And then I'm going to pick up the live feed here in a minute when we walk in the kitchen, which was a bed of activity. Just crazy bed of activity.
Over here, tell us about any incidents in the kitchen here or anything that has transpired when you were here.
The kitchen to me was quiet. It's more of my kids. I thought a lot of things in there. It's the hallway. That is.
You think that was the hotbed in the situation, or what?
Between looking down those steps and hearing someone the door creak in this hallway, in these rooms, there's, especially this bedroom.
Let's take a peek in here real quick so the viewers can get a look at this room. It's just an average bedroom. It's actually a really nice house. How long, have you had many tenants here?
Just one.
Just one. And how long did that last?
3 years.
And then, was this your and your wife's bedroom?
No.
Or?
Ours was over
This
here.
is another average size bedroom.
That was my smallest one.
But you said there was activity
In this whole area.
Okay,
It was
what
just,
kind of activity?
no, it's the door. It's the doors getting me all the time. It's just this whole area. It's like a funnel. It's like a continuous open door, and kind of like the
Kind of cool. This kind of goes in a circle. This is
yeah.
started like this? You
Well,
started
yeah.
working on it, right?
We're working on it now, but they decided to wallpaper and paint it,
Yeah.
which is kind of like
Terrible.
bad idea.
Yeah.
What do you smell, Sherry? Besides the dog smell, do you smell, is the air heavy to you at all or not? In spots, right?
In spot. It's colder and
See, there's a ton of dog hair here too. You know, people
Yeah.
like that attract negative entities because they're pigs. You know what I mean? So continue with your tour. I
Are you
appreciate it.
gonna refinish these, or are you
Well,
gonna replace the floor?
We got an estimate on.
So you have activity down here too?
This is the brunt of it down here.
The brunt of it. Okay, good.
It's like the way my son describes it and my other boy describes it. I can call him certain time street. You can ask him, but it's literally the way he describes it. It's like they go this way, through here, through there, and it's like a watch it. Yeah, it's
Come on down
kind
here,
of a sloop.
Deb, and film this room here, please. Before I drop the light, so you can see everything. Oh, man. Oh, very bad. Heavy, very heavy over here. Come over here, Sherry, please. Can you, I want your feeling. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Sherry is very good at picking up feelings, senses, and so on and so forth.
Apologize for really can't breathe, but hey, it's a little tough to breathe out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just the smell, it's the heaviness of
Yeah.
whatever entity is in here. Watch where you step. Yeah, I can feel all kinds of things down here. And along with the entity itself, what you have here is when these entities infiltrate these people, they completely decimate them physically, pain. They also have a tremendous amount of mental anguish, anxiety, stress, depression, and also crazy euphoric thoughts. It's like a mind, they pull your mind string and it just ruins their whole thought process. You know, and if they were pigs to begin with, or evil to begin with, it's an entity that's in here would make it just like it, because I could feel it. I could feel its presence.
And even before they were here, I had, I told you about the two
Well, it was here when you
incidences.
were here, you
Yeah,
said.
the two incidences in the kitchen.
At this point, I had to step in and tell you my version of what has transpired here. The fact of the matter is that he was taken to a dark place in the kitchen of this extremely haunted house in Campbell, Ohio. And some really bad thoughts ran through Tim's head. And it was almost like the entity was wanting him to get a gun and kill everybody in the house, including the dogs and then himself. Thank God he fought it off and was able to continue in a level-minded attitude. This just shows you how strong these entities are. They can hurt you. They can ruin your life. They can make you end up in prison for the rest of your life. Or worse yet, they can kill you. This is no joke. You must be very careful when dealing with negative entities. They have no parameters. There is no explanations. Now I will continue with the live feed.
There's times I just don't want to be here because of the attitude, my attitude
Well,
changed.
see, I'm feeling that you're empathic and your abilities are very strong. You have great perception, and I feel that your son is very gifted too. But he's just learning. He's going to be very powerful. I'm getting drawn over here for some reason. I don't know why. This bench was here, right? Or did you put the
Day one.
It was here.
Yep, that was built
Okay.
in 58. Or
Somebody used to work here. Boom,
Yes.
boom, boom. They were not a happy camper. They were not happy about maybe the situation in the house, maybe something, like it's a little something trying to push on me, I'm pushing back. And I learned that I could do that about 10 or 12 years ago. Back off. By the blood of Jesus Christ, I command you to back off. Yeah, this is really, I'm picking it up strong here, but he likes to walk around. And there's someone else with him, Tim, and I don't know who it is. I feel a woman. I feel somebody that it's not the people that were here last. This was a long time ago. Because their clothing was like the 70s. And I feel that they did not get along. So they were married under duress.
I guess you could say that. I mean, yeah.
Who lived in this house first? Grandparents.
The grandparents built the house.
Did they
Then
live
it
in
was, then somehow, from what I was told by my wife, shortly after her grandfather passed away, the house was supposed to go into my mother-in-law's name and her sister. One day, she came home from work, seeing lawyers and papers, blah, 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 signing off. Oh, I'm signing it out of the will. The sister, I guess.
Who'd she sign out of the will?
My mother-in-law.
Okay.
Signed out of the will. And in a nutshell, in my opinion, karma set in a couple years later. Not only did they make that very tragic mistake by signing her out of the will, they got divorced later.
Your mother, that wasn't her making them change the will.
Oh no, she was working. She came home to that.
your mother-in-law?
My mother-in-law. She came home.
Yeah, I meant your mother-in-law.
I know, I know what you meant.
Yeah, but I want to make it clear for the
And
audience.
her sister's husband.
Right, and her husband really wasn't like.
He wasn't a good guy.
No. My mother-in-law, him really, or like.
Did he die in this house?
No.
Okay.
He.
Doesn't mean his spirit's not around.
He didn't die in this house. No, not in this house, but he eventually died somewhere down the street. But I mean, I don't know what the circumstances were with the.
Was this your wife's parents?
Yes.
That built this
Yeah,
and lived here?
They lived here at first.
For how long?
Since they 58 to up until she moved out, until she met her husband, and they bought that place down there in the 70s. Mm-hmm. And basically this house basically stayed in the family for the exception for about a 3-year stint when her sister sold the house, lost the house to the bank. It was sold to a black couple in a sheriff's sale. They got the house, and that's where we walked in and took over the house. And that's where we found all the purple walls.
If they sold it to that black couple, how did you end up with the house?
They defaulted on a loan,
okay.
And they were trying to get back the house originally to put it back in their family.
All right. I'm going to make a statement right away. The light is flickering. That is not the light. It's the light, but it's the electromagnetic force that entities will walk by and change it around. They don't absorb it or nothing. They just kind of bend it. And that's where you get flickering lights, other things happening. It's happening now because I can feel it very close to me. Actually, it's very close to us. It wants our energy. And those are called energy vampires because they never made it to the light. They didn't want to go in the light. You don't go in the light for 3 reasons. 1, you're afraid. You may not even know you're dead. 2, which I feel this is very heavy here, is they think they're going to go to hell. And of course 3, which is one of the most common one, is unfinished business on earth. Like I got to take care of my dog, I got to take care of my son or my daughter or somebody else or whatever, my mate. Okay, let's continue here. Tell me about this 12-foot table. Was that here?
No, they brought this here.
Who's they?
Oh, the renters.
The last renters?
Yeah, and I can't figure out. I can see how they got it in, but they may have brought it in through the back.
What was that room?
Well, we're going to go into that next. That was the rec room, right?
Well,
What would you call it? What did you guys call it, this room on the right here?
Previous to this wall being here, when this wall wasn't here when we first came in, I ended up.
Let's get a shot of this.
I put this wall in because I wanted to fix up the bar. And previous to them, just generously ripping off the nice leather that I had on here and the glass top and everything and fixing up back here, they destroyed my bar. and they
And it's the same.
and they ripped up the floor to make room for that thing, which
They're out there.
that's just
Is that their telescope?
An
no,
old
that's
desk.
my kids.
Okay.
That's from the shed.
All right, let me see. I'm getting something in this mirror here. Come on up to the bar, Campbell. Well, if you want to say something, show your face if you got the guts to around me. I gotta get a shot of this, just in case he appears in the picture, because he's not showing his face to me now, which is all right, because most of them tend to run from me.
Man. And it's getting colder by the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting
there's
colder.
There's a lot of cold spots down here. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as it moves around, it moves the cold spots.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I can. If my son's home, I can call him up real fast if you want to talk to him.
No, it's fine. You
All right, cause he.
camera room. Okay, I'll make a note of that entity in there. That's fine. Good thing Debbie caught that. My wife and Can's last cameraman. Let me get a picture of this mirror and see if we can pick up anything else later. And sometimes these entities won't come up unless you film them with a camera or something. Now, Tim has some good things he wants to talk to us about this room. So follow us in here, please.
That room. Tell them about that room.
That's
That room is,
that's the one I'm talking about.
Which room are you talking about, Sharon?
that room.
The rec room?
That was freezing in there.
Yeah, there's stuff in there.
It's like-
Got knocked that cold in
Look,
here.
that's what I thought. That it's like it goes from there. They go from there
To the workbench.
and go there, back and forth, back and forth. It's
To the
like
workbench.
yeah,
right?
it's kind of like you're working, you get a drink at the bar, you go back to work. Kind of like that. How I describe it.
Did the tenants leave the house?
Oh, they left. This is
They
all
left
theirs.
it all like this, so you got your hands full now.
Yes, I got
I'm getting something in the corner here. I'm gonna take a picture of that and see if I can
That
exploit
go
it
outside,
later.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, that's it.
Built outdoors?
outside
Yeah.
there.
That's the outside door?
Mhm.
Okay, we don't need that for that.
Yeah, I barely never use that myself.
I'm not half as cold as I was in that room. Where the bar is. That's.
Some tried to just go through me. Didn't work out too good for him. Okay, this goes back into the other room we were in.
Yeah.
Pan into that, Deb. Okay, first of all, I want to make another statement, Debbie. Come on over here and grab me. People think you have to go in houses at night to see the spirits. That's crap. It's pure crap. If they're there in the daytime, they're there at night. People say the veil is thinner at night. They say that 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning is the witching hour. No, it's midnight. It's always been midnight throughout the centuries. 3 o'clock, if you turn the timetables around and do some mathematics, 3 o'clock, believe it or not, is the time that Christ died on the cross on Mount Calvary. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I talked to many people my whole life. I'm 65 now. I've been doing this for over 40-something years. A lot of people wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning with no reason whatsoever.
That's me every day.
Oh,
You
yeah,
too?
Yeah, me
That's it.
too.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And usually it's a message. And you can't always get that message,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well, that's every day for me.
Well, I don't even sleep good at night. I mean, my average bedtime is 4 a.m. And I'm not wound up. I'm not thinking. It's just the way I am. And then if I have to get up at 7 o'clock, I'll be up. Sometimes I don't even go to sleep. Which is terrible for me. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody really, some people can handle it. Debbie, something's going on under these steps here. Let's see what we got going on over here. Now this is what happens when, I'm not saying the renters were bad. I'm gonna play the good guy here now. This is what happens when someone gets infested with negative entities. In other words, they get attached to you. I see there's a big connection with entities and heroin. Maybe because the heroin addicts or even some alcoholics are weaker than normal people because they're stuck in that thing. I'm not calling you weak. I'm talking in a spiritual sense. But when it keeps happening over and over to the same groups of people, then I know what's going on. I mean, you don't even have to be gifted to figure that out. So it seems like the same old song all over. I'm going to go back in here because as soon as you come over here, come on over here, Cameron, girl. As soon as you cross this line, Sherry,
Yeah.
that's when it changes.
Yeah.
Now it's extremely cold in here.
Yes.
What's the difference between that room with a cement block wall and that room? So this is the hotbed. Here's what I see. See somebody from the workbench coming around here and going back to here and then going back over there. And that's what they do. And at night, they're kind of like prankster spirits. They like to play games. But also, they're bad. Very bad. And when I'm done filming this and we get it all going together, I will talk to Tim if he wants me to get rid of it. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I can see it's bothering the dog. Yeah, it's in his eyes. He sees everything that's going on that we're not seeing. Animals are highly intuitive. They see things, they hear things that we can't hear, and he looks scared to death right now.
Now, as you can see, Sherry was really shook up about the situation. The three entities in the house were really pushing her hard, and she came out okay. And these are some still pictures we took walking through the house. The other cameraman who was shooting stills came up with some very interesting things. The entity was actually trying to bump me and push me off over there. There was a glare in the photo in the mirror 1 second, it was gone the next. And on the right, there was something swishing around. But I wasn't quite convinced that the three entities that were in the house were the only ones around. I kept feeling weird, different things. Here's some fog that came up during one still. Totally blacked out the picture. They cleaned the place up and painted it. The paint bucket and roller tray were thrown up in the air and paint was spilled all over the place. But then I stumbled upon something else that just piqued my awareness of the whole situation. It'll come up now. I asked the homeowner if it was all right if I could take a walk around the house. So I took a walk around the side of the house, and then I went into the back of the house. Evidently, the renters left all kinds of stuff there, like a pool table on the back patio, and just all kinds of trash that he was cleaning up. Him and his wife cleaned it all up, and it came out real nice. But then it hit me when I looked straight on ahead, and I'll play the video for you
Okay,
right now.
they just told me there was a woods behind their house, and I was talking to his kids. What's your name, son? Jordan. You found arrowheads back here, or an arrowhead? Yeah. And you have too, right? So this is, and when I first walked to this circle over here, if you look at it, it is a circle. And I feel at some time, because the Indian population around here was extremely big, especially coming out of Chillicothe. And I feel, and I'm feeling it more and more as I walk into here, that this was an Indian burial ground. And nothing good comes from that.
I would not be. Here, the funny thing, why funny you say that is, my old house when I was about his age, when I first started seeing him, my house was about 3 properties from an Indian burial ground. Anyway, it's just weird how the correlation between me and him and how the comparisons.
Yeah.
It's just the comparisons are like uncanny. Not to mention he looks like me in the morning.
Yes, when you're in a situation like this, and I feel it extremely strong, because I've been around it many times, that you have to leave presents for these Indians. Well, what kind of presents? Could be pieces of wood, shiny stones. I don't care if you just throw them in here or just set them by the property line, and they'll come and get them and they'll calm down. Leftover food, especially meat, old potatoes, anything that you could put by the property line. You don't have to put it on your grass. You can put it inside the woods, and they will back off from you because it wasn't you guys personally who disturbed it.
Yeah.
It was somebody else. But at the same time, you want to show in the Indian way that you respect them.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make that perfectly clear. I'm glad that came out. And I thank you for the more information. I was feeling it, and there you go, more validation. I feel I'm over a grave now. And of course, back then, they did not bury Indians. They put them 6 to 8 feet up on a turret made out of wood and sticks, and they'd lay them with their heads facing west, and they would just fall apart, and then the earth would take them back in time as it did. However, there was some chiefs in here and a medicine man, and I don't want to go back there any further because it gets worse. And this is bleeding out. This cemetery here is bleeding out to the houses around it. So that's the big problem. If you talk to some of these people down there, I'm not gonna, is that they're having problems. And so I just thought I'd bring this to.
Okay, there you have it. Haunted Youngstown episode 4, Haunted House in Campbell. Certain things come to mind in this house. First of all, there is a lot going on here, and the owners have requested me to cleanse it up. And I told them I would be glad to do that when they're finished cleaning the house. And they've made several attempts, and they are cleaning it, and paint's flying everywhere when they're not looking, buckets thrown up in the air, paint buckets, roller trays. Thanks to my sister-in-law, Sherry Bartow, she's a spiritualist. Thanks to my wife, Deborah, for filming. And thanks for several others who participated in this. And of course, Tim and his family. But I will want to tell you this much. Things are pretty bad here. And they asked me to cleanse it. And I am going to come back and cleanse it. And I will show you in an addendum, added addendum to this video, that cleansing. I can't show you all of it, but I will be glad to show you a large part of it. So, there you have it. Episode 4, Haunted Campbell. More to come.